What up guys, Alex is here, GuitarForce.com. So today we're going to take a look at the Lemon song by Led Zeppelin, which was requested and supported by Steve, so big thanks goes out to him, and I hope you like this lesson. This song reminds me very much of Howlin' Wolf's Killing Floor. I'm not sure what happened there, but just saying. Anyway, the tops and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com. If you would like to support the channel, the links are going to be in the description box down below. The tuning for this song is going to be the standard, so no need to change anything. And for the sound, I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. As usual, I'm going to show you the picture of the preset that I was using for this lesson. And while you are checking out the picture of the preset, here is my low E string, so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Right, so without further ado, let's go for the close-up and start this lesson. Okay, so we're going to break up this song into parts. The first part is the intro, and also the verses are all based on this riff, which goes like this. Okay, so what we have basically here is this riff, which is being played on the low E string. We have open low E, and we play it twice. Then we go to the 4th fret, to the 5th, also playing these notes twice. Then we go to the 7th, we slide out and we play an open low E. So we have this on the low E. Right? Now the other thing is we add the B string open to that, to all these notes that we play on the low E, and thus we have this. Okay, so we play this hybrid picking, meaning that you pick the lower notes on the low E string with the pick, and the notes on the B string just playing with the finger. So we have like that, or you can play just with the thumb and with the finger, but you would need the pick afterwards. So basically that's the riff that is being played throughout the intro and the verses. And just keep in mind that Jimmy wasn't playing the B string all the time. Sometimes he would skip it, sometimes he would play it just on certain notes with the low E string, but not all the time. But the notes on the low E string, you play them all the time, obviously. Okay, so after we play these notes on the low E and the B strings, then we have this chord, which is the E7 sharp 9, which looks like this. So we have 7 on A, 6 on D, 7 on G, and 8 on the B string. So this is like a, what is called what is known as a Jimi Hendrix chord, but obviously, other players use that as well. So the main riff again is going to be like this. And now what we do after we play this E7 sharp 9 chord, we're going to be adding some endings, different endings. In other words, different licks. So sometimes he would just leave the chord ringing and kind of slide out. Or as in the first time when he plays the intro, he would play the chord and then would slide up and slide down the whole chord like that. Okay, so that's the first part. And also when you are playing this chord, after you've played it, add some vibrato to it as well. Second part. Now we have this ending, the first variation. So what we do is we slide into the 14th frets on the A string, and then we play a double stop or 3 notes here on the 12 frets of the D, G, and the B strings. Then you want to pick the 14 on the A again, and then pick the double stop 2 more times. So altogether you have this, and then slide out. So in the context with the riff, it's going to be like this, slowly. Okay, so that's the first ending. Then again, back to the riff. That's the second fill, where we have this quick lick, which is after we played the chord, slide out and then play, which is on the G string open to 4 hammer-ons, then play 3rd fret on the B string, and then we have, so it's back to the G string, 2, 4, 2 open, and then quickly pull off 2nd fret to the open on the D string. So all together, that's the lick. It's played quite fast, so. And then back again to the riff. And the last time before going to the first verse, we just leave the chord ring out, the E7 sharp 9, and then slide out. Now going into the first verse again is going to be the same thing with the different feels here and there. So we start off again with the riff. First time without any licks at the end, just sliding out. Second time we have okay, so this lick, after we played the chord, the riff, the chord, and then we have, which is 5-7 on A, hammer on, then we have 5 on D, little rest, and then we have 5-7 on A again. So we have, and this is a lick which transitions then into the A. So just keep in mind that the whole thing is based on the 12-bar blues. So, you know, it's in E, so we have E, go into A, back to E, and then we have the turnaround, which is the B7, A7, and then finish it off with the E again. So after this lick, we are going now to the A, and we do the same riff but now on the A string. So we have open A 2 times, then go into the 4th fret 2 times, 5th fret, 7, sliding out, playing low, the A string open, going to the A power chord. So also when playing this riff, Jimmy primarily plays just the A string. Sometimes he adds the G string when going to the 5th fret. You can barely hear that G string there, but you know, it's not necessarily to play it. So we play the A5, little rest, then we have, so it's a bend on the 3rd fret of the low E string, then bring it back to the G note, add some vibrato. Okay, so that's the transition, so it goes like this. And then we're back to the E. So we have, okay, so that's after the we get back to the E. So again, playing the riff. Sorry. chord. Then we have this part, so this is again transition to the B7 now. So we have 4th fret on the low E, and we played a staccato style, so meaning a short note. Then we have a little rest, then we play open A string, again a little rest, and then we play 1 to 2 on the A string, so altogether it's going to be like that. And now we go into the B, and here he's using the B7 sharp 9, but without the 3rd, so you know, it kind of like a B minor 7, but it's implied because the blues is major, so you know, it's implied that it's a B7 sharp 9. So B7 sharp 9 is exactly like the E7 sharp 9 here, but we obviously move it down to the 2nd position here. And then when we stay on this chord, just pick the strings randomly. Then we go to A7, again picking the strings, and then we have so that's this feel after we get back to the E, playing low E string open. Then we have, so we bend up the B string on the 15th fret. While you are bending up the string, then pick it again, then bring it down, pick it, go to 12. Then we have, which is 14 on G, then going 12 to on B string, 12 on G, 14 on D. Then we have, which is 12, 13, 14 on the D string, 12 on G, back to D string, 14 to 12, and then we have, which is 12, 13, 14 on the A string, 12 on D, 14 on A, and slide out. So this last phrase altogether is going to be like this slowly. After that we go into the 2nd verse, which starts off again with the same riff. So first ending, we just stay on the chord and then slide out, repeating the riff again. Again playing 2nd time this lick where we have which we discussed earlier, so it's exactly the same thing. After that we go to A, so we play the riff on the A string again. So it's exactly the same thing on the A string. Then going to the A power chord with the bend on the 3rd fret of the low E string. Back to the E. Again, repeating exactly the same thing for the turnaround, so 4th fret on the low E with the rest. Then we have A string open, rest, 1, 2, going to the B7 now, or B7 sharp 9, picking the chord. Then we go to the A7, also picking the chord, and then we have. So that's how we end this part. So it's kind of half of the lick that we did previously. So again, we play the low E string open and going right into the bend on the B string, adding some vibrato, then picking the notes, bringing it down, 12, and then we have 14 on G, 12 on B, 12 on G, and then the last note is going to be on the 14 frets on the D string, and we slide out. So basically that's the intro and the first 2 verses. Okay, so after that part we go into this fast part, which is basically the solo, and we're going to break it up into two parts. The first part is based on sixes, on the double stop intervals, and the second one is mostly based on licks oriented, and playing single notes. So the first part goes like this. Okay, so like I said, the first part, this part consists of primarily the sixes or a triads. So what we have here is we are starting with the E, and in the E we have these sixes based on the high E and the G strings. So the first one that we have is on 13 frets of the G string and 12 on the high E. But if you would play the triad, you would include the B string on the 12th fret as well. So we have that. Then we have this double stop, the 6, which is on the 14th fret of the G and the high E strings. And then we move it up 2 frets to the 16th fret. But here also you can include the B string on the 15th fret. And thus creating this as a E dominant 7 triad. Now keep in mind that Jimmy wasn't playing the triads all the time. Sometimes he would just play the sixes, right, in this position and in this position. But he would sometimes play the triad as well. So it starts off with this one on the 16th fret. So we play it twice. Then we kind of pick it again. Then we go down to the 14, then picking the triad here on the 6th 2 times. So we have. Then we go from here, from the E triad through 14 to 16, then again from 16 to 14 to the triad. So altogether the first part. So basically we go between these sixes. Then after that, when we go to the A7, simply we shift everything up to here to the 18 and 17th fret. So it's exactly the same, either a triad or a double stop, the sixes. So we have here 18 on G, 17 on B, 17 on high E, or just the high E. Then we go to 19 on the high E and the G strings, and then we move it up to the 21st fret on the same strings, high E and the G. And we do the same thing, like that. Then we return back to the E, so we have this part, okay? So starting with the E triad or the 6 on the 12th and the 13th positions. And then after that, we go into, there is a kind of big slide. So we play this double stop, which is on the 16 on the B and 17 on the high E, and we play it in a specific rhythm. So we have that pattern, and let it ring out between the strings. You can add also a little bit of vibrato. Then we move down 2 frets, so now it's going to be on the 14 on the B and 15 on the high E, and we do the same thing. Then we move down to the 9th frets of the B string and 10 on the high E, we do the same thing. and then we go down to the 4th fret on the B and 5th on high E. And here it's kind of half of what we did here. Sorry, like that. And then we go into the second part. So all together, this first part again slowly is going to be like this. Alright, so after that part we go into the second part, which is based more on single notes, kind of phrases oriented, melody, licks oriented, solo. So we're gonna break it up into licks and phrases, and the first one slowly goes like this. Okay, so we're gonna stop right here. So first lick is this one. So we slide into the 16th frets on the G string. Then we pick it again, go into 14, picking it 2 times, go into 12, picking it 2 times, adding some vibrato, and then playing 14, sliding out. So all together slowly is going to be like this. Then we kind of repeat the first part. But then, so we slide into the 16th fret on the G, then pick it again, then to 14 2 times, to 12 once, and then we go into the bend on the 14th fret of the G string. Then we play, so it's 12 on the G to 14 on the D string. So second time. That's the second line. Then we have, so it's similar to the first one, but without playing 14th fret 2 times. So we have, so sliding into 16, then picking, then going 16, 14, 12, and then picking 12 one more time, 14 on G, sliding out. And then the last time, so it's again 16, sliding into it, and then we go 16, 14, 12, and then we go into the bend on the G string 14th fret, and then we go into the next set of licks. So far all of these 4 lines slowly gonna be like this. And then after that we go into, okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. So we have this lick, which is based on the bend on the G string 14th fret, and then we have 12 on high E. Then we play pull off on the B string 15 to 12, and then we're back to the G string bend up again. So that's the lick. And these bends we play them for 5 times, and the licks obviously in between them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after we play the last bend the 5th time, we then just go down the pentatonic scale. So again, starting with the 12 on high E, pull off on the B string 15 to 12. Then we have on G 14 to 12, D 14 to 12. Same on A, sliding down to the 10th fret, and then we have 12 on low E, then we have 10, 12, 10 on A, and picking it one more time, and then Jimmy's just staying here and adding some random notes like 13th fret sometimes, but just basically picking the 12th fret here. And then after that, on the strong beat of the next bar, on the first beat, we slide into the 14th fret. So that's the next phrase. So let me play from the bending up lick. Slowly gonna be like this. So that's the next part. So after we went down the pentatonic scale, like I said here, just picking the 10th fret and adding some notes like 13th fret and so on. Then, like I said, on the strong beat of the next bar, on the first beat, we slide into the 14th fret on the A string, and then we go 12, 13, 14 on D. Then we go to the G string and we play 12, 14, 12, and then 14 and bend it up, and then play 12, 14, and then bend up again, and then we play 12 on G, 14 on D, back to G 12, back to D 14 again, and then we go, so it's G again, 12 to 14, kind of gradual bend, but then we pick the 12 on the B string, and then we have 12 on high E, 15 on B, and bend it up. Okay, so from this 14th fret on the A string, slowly is going to be like this. So this is obviously played very slow. Okay, so moving on from then we have these few licks. So starts off with the bend on the G string, 14th fret. So we bend it up, and it's not the full bend, but kind of 3/4 of the bend, 14th fret. Then we play 15 on B, and quickly going back to the G string, picking 14th fret, then picking in one more time, and kind of bending half a step, and then picking the B on 15 again. So it would be like this. Then we have, so it's again bending 14 frets on the G string, 15 on B, then playing 14 to 13. Now I don't know if that was a mistake or Jimmy did it intentionally, but you can hear that 13 frets right here. And then he quickly goes to 14th fret, bending it up and adding some vibrato. And then we have, so it's again bend on the G string, 14th fret, then 15 on B, then we bend the G string, 14th fret again, then we bring it down, pick it 2 times, 12, 14 on D, 14 to 12 on G. So this last part, like that. So one more time, all of these 3 licks together gonna go like this. Okay, so after that we continue with the second part of the solo. Now we go into the next 12 bar blues, starting from the beginning, and the phrases that we have go like this. So what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be bending the B string on the 17th fret, step and a half. And the first 3 bends that we do are on the beat. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then the next 3 bends are going to be slightly longer, and it's also they're going to be a kind of gradual bends. So we have. So once you play the 3rd bend, then what you do, you hold the string up, bend up, and then after that you bring it down slightly. So you bring it down slightly, pick the string and bend it up again, pick it and go in between these 2 notes. So basically what you want to get is this. Okay? So you bend it up like that, play between the notes, and then the last how to finish this phrase is going to be, so you do bend on the 15th fret and then bring it down and add some vibrato. So altogether again, this phrase is going to be like this. Okay. After that we go into this repetitive lick, which is so I'm not gonna play all of the licks like this, but it's the same lick essentially. So it's pull off from the 15 to 12 on a high E, and then we play 15 on the B string. Just keep in mind that 15 falls on the strong beat of the bar. So basically you start off playing the pull-offs on the off beat. Now the number of times that we play this lick is going to be 16 times altogether. Okay, so it's 4 full bars and also another starting on the 3 end beats. So another 2 times that we play this lick before that. And then after that we have so after we play this lick for 16 times, then we go to the high E string and we play 12, 14, then we bend up 15th fret, full step, then we bring it down, pick the note, then go to 16th fret and bend it a full step, and then a little rest and another bend, but it's going to be a step and a half, and add some vibrato, and then we have. So it's we're going back to the 15th fret on the high E string, and we bend it up 2 steps. It's kind of gradual bend and release, and then we play 12 high E, go into 14 on B, 15 on high E, and then we repeat again 12 on high E, 14 on B, 15 to 12 on high E. So basically like playing 2 times. Like that. So we stay on this note for the whole bar, adding some vibrato, and then in the end we have. So we bend the G string on the 14th fret, full step, and then we have just going down the pentatonic scale, again starting with the high E12, pull off on the B string 15 to 12, 14, 12 on D, on G, on D, on A, and by the way we kind of slow it down once we start playing the pentatonic run down. So as we reach the A string, we have 14 to 12. Then we slide down to the 10th fret, 12 on low E, 12 on A, back to low E, 12, and then 10 on A and slide out. So altogether this last lick is going to be like this. Alright, so now I'm going to play the whole second part of the solo slowly so you can see how all of the licks are put together, and also so you can follow along. So it goes like this.